Hi folks, thanks for tuning into this little video. This is actually a video as a request by one of my channel followers, and I'm very grateful for someone actually asking me personally about their thoughts, specifically on the Maggio setup and aspects of the pedal C. So I'm going to get to the question straight away. This is from Alan Del Monte, and his question is: do you maintain the pucker all the way down, or are you relaxed to get the notes out? It appears to him that I am able to maintain the pucker all the way out. And then he goes on to say that he's not able to do this, and it makes it difficult to transition back up. So I'm assuming from the pedal register, Alan, and then back up to readjust my embouchure to the pucker to continue to so maintain that. I'm assuming back up through the range. Then he says he can continue, but it's not exact, and he fears that this hinders the progress, etc. So before I actually get into answering the question, this kind of it almost sets me up for where I'm going with the Maggio technique in itself, and almost like my review of the technique and the system and my thoughts on who the Maggio is for and what it's meant to achieve. So that's a little bit of a hint as to what I'm going to be talking about. It's not really that much of a hint. I'm telling you what I'm going to be talking about in my little synopsis of the Maggio technique. But to specifically address Alan's comment, what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over to my other camera. I'm recording this just now in OBS. I've got my old faithful webcam on, and I'm afraid I'm going to get you some pretty in-your-face, beardy, chopsy stuff going on. So I'm going to flip over to the Canon camera, which is my new camera, which I did a couple of videos on recently. And it's a marked improvement, but that means you get to see my lovely, hairy chops right in your face. And what I'll do is I'm going to play just a descending C scale from, excuse me, bottom C down to pedal C. Okay, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about what it feels. So here we go. So there we go. Okay, so I've had to do this a few times just so that I'm sure about what I'm talking about. I don't feel as though there's any change in my embouchure here whatsoever. And the Maggio preface, Carlton Macbeth says that Maggio talks about corners to eye teeth, and I think that's the one thing that I try and adhere to. Now, I would say that is there anyway throughout the rest of the range from pedal nose upwards. But having the ability to zoom in here and have a little look at what's going on, it does raise a few questions in terms of maintaining the pucker from the bottom pedal C, or our pedal C, all the way through. So just going to demonstrate this just now in terms of how I normally play. So let me switch cameras again. So to me, there is a little bit more of a change. It's almost as though you can see. Oh, I don't want to go down the route of using too many different terms here, but almost like I'm kind of rolling in towards the lips, kind of coming like this. And I think that is what's happening, but I am still aware of everything being contacted towards the kind of eye teeth area, which is really where the embouchure, in terms of like this area here, is really set up with the sides of the mouthpiece. So everything on the outsides is really just gearing towards, I suppose, having a nice cushioned area towards the embouchure. So I then thought, in relation specifically to Alan's question, is like, can I maintain the exact shape of my embouchure from the pedal C all the way up? So my pedal C embouchure, I'm going to have to look at the camera while I'm doing this at the same time. So you can see there, that's quite fleshy. And I suppose I am forward setting to have a really kind of loose, relaxed forward set pucker here. Now, if I try and maintain that all the way through the range, it's quite interesting what happens, but I'll also tell you what I feel once I've done it. Okay, so here we go. So. So I actually feel as though I'm working really, really hard there. But it doesn't feel that awful. Now, if I do the exact same thing with the way I normally play, incidentally, I was kind of trying to do that one hand as well. I feel as though I've got slightly more under the mouthpiece, I think is the best way what I'm saying is what I'm trying to say. So the fact that I am rolling, probably if this is the mouthpiece edge here, if I'm just kind of coming and rolling slightly more like this, I feel as though I'm actually protecting the red area of my lips a little bit. So this is where going down the route of trying to explain the Maggio as to who it's for, I'm going to leave, and what it's really about, I'm going to leave for the video on the actual Maggio. So, in relationship to Alan's question is, do I maintain the pucker all the way down? I do, I think. In fact, I probably enforce the pucker a little bit more because, like what I was saying, you can actually see me getting quite fleshy towards the side and pushing forward. I think the difference is that when we start to ascend back up, if you can maintain a degree of grip, I suppose, at the edge of your embouchure, then whatever's going to happen here in the centre part where the cup resides and the fleshy part on the inside, I think we have to let that space there do its own thing. Because when I was feeling as though I was pushing forward and forward and forward and forward and forward, I actually felt as though I was bringing my lips out of the cup. Okay? Now, maybe that says more about my play. Maybe there's stuff here that I've got to look at. And that's actually, it has raised a couple of questions thinking, I need to get some information in this. I've just had to look at a couple of other fantastic players doing, for example, pedal C to double high C. I don't know what double high C. And they do appear to have this rolling style compression around the embouchure. So maybe I am doing it all right. Maybe there's a little bit more that I need to step back on. But in terms of, again, Alan, your question, yes, the pucker does remain all the way down. But I'm not entirely sure that we should force that issue and try and force that shape for the sake of having that shape all the way up into the higher register. So I'm going to do it one more time. Single-handed. Here we go. What I'll do is I'll actually do, let's say, a variation on Maggio 1 with the descending arpeggio down to the pedal C with a 3 pedal C motif, breath through the nose. And then I'm going to ascend from the pedal C up as high as I can. So I'm going to take quite a large breath because I'm going to be blowing from a low area all the way up to, not as high as I can. Well, let's say as high as I can. Yeah, whatever. And I'm not going to blow too hard. I've actually got my older trumpet mic here cranked quite high, so I don't have to blow quite hard. And we'll take it away. Here we go. that's where it kind of stopped. So I need to kind of watch that back again and find out what was happening, because I had a funny break there at the G to the C. Do it one more time, yeah? Try and watch myself as well. So that's it. And that's also using the correct tongue positions all the way through. So let's do the same thing, and I'm physically not trying to maintain the pucker as I ascend, but I am thinking about trying to keep the corners nice and compact. Okay. Okay, so, and that's a little bit more comfortable for me, because I feel as though I'm managing the airstream a little bit better. And again, the Maggio preferred tongue positions just kind of happen in there. The one thing it didn't change between trying it to maintain the forced forward pucker is and the slightly more kind of rolled in position is the support from down here. You can't really see it because of the way I've got the cameras set up, etc. But the support mechanism is all the same. And I think that's quite an important thing as well, because if we are supporting our air column in the most comfortable way, I don't want to use a word like efficiently or strong or whatever, because trumpet playing to a certain degree should be comfortable. I'm not saying it shouldn't be hard work, but in terms of like supporting our air column for what we need to use that air for, be it a slow ballad or a screaming lead line or punctuated staccato notes or whatever, it all has to be learned. And again, I can feel myself just about going to like a big Maggio spiel here. But I think that's it. Alan, I don't know if I've answered your question here about maintaining the pucker all the way down. I do. And I think I try and maintain the pucker back up, obviously through that register again. So from C down to pedal C to back up. And then as it starts to ascend, as I start to ascend through the range, then other things start to happen here. You know, it's a very dynamic setup that we have. Not dynamic in terms of volume, but in terms of everything that's going on here with our embouchure. I love watching players like let me think, like Louis Dowdeswell. I mean, Louis on everyone's lips just now. No pun intended. About, you know, so we watch him play. There's hardly anything going on here. But obviously there's something going on there that allows him to facilitate the airspeed and everything else that's going on really, really easy and comfortably. I'm not saying he's not working hard. I mean, you know, it's like showing me a trumpet player that doesn't go a little bit red in the face when they're really working hard. It's not that they're blowing hard. It could just be that they're working hard. So before I start waffling, which I am very, very good at, I'm going to get out of here. And I have pretty much got the Maggio down in my head now for how I'm going to proceed. And Alan's question actually really did kind of springboard me into a refreshed level of thinking on this. So other than that, thank you very much for watching. I am going to try and label this in such a way that it doesn't sound just like a specific lesson or, chat for someone, because I think there is some important information in here in terms of how we use our pedal embouchure and what we should expect of it in terms of facilitating the rest of the register. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there. Thank you very much for watching. I would love some comments relating to what you think about what we've just talked about and Alan's question. And that's all for now. Not much editing on this. Got it set up a little bit easier. Hopefully I'll get this up sooner rather than later. If there's anything else you want me to cover about the Maggio technique or really anything trumpet playing in general, then please fire away. More than happy to share some information and get a good chat about all this stuff. And just to reiterate again, please, please, please like the channel. Okay, the higher my channel goes up in terms of subscriptions, the more people will get a nice wee chat about this. There's some fantastic channels coming out. I'm trying to like all of them that are out there, subscribe. The other thing is, as well, is hit the like button for this video. Leave a comment. It's like, even if you don't like any of the content here, please hit the like button so that you can then get a comment in there, and we can respond and we can chat about this stuff. Okay, doke, folks. That's it. Enjoy the rest of your evening, if it is evening when you're watching this. Don't forget to practice. Stay safe and stay smart. Thanks, guys. Bye.